All right, welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show of its kind that combats negative media by inspiring your American dream. We got a great show. You're going to absolutely love it today. National interviews with my co-host and myself of people that really do give you knowledge, inspiration. You're going to absolutely love it. But not only that, we bring in the best local experts out of your city to give you advice on what you can do to empower your American dream. Got a great show lined up. Let's go ahead and start it right now. Now the word on the American dream. Hey, look, on this show, we talk a lot about things like the internet and digital and social media. It's because it's an amazing time that we're in right now, the greatest opportunity in the history of mankind to aggregate attention, build a brand, build a business. But we got to be really careful of that online world as well. I know some of the older generations, they cringe over this stuff. And in some cases they should, because keep in mind, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So one of the things we really try and do on our program is go old school with you. We try and bring in the best professionals that we've handpicked out of every city so that when we talk about these things like real estate, finance, mortgage, not only are we giving you great information, but we're actually a resource for you, and that resource is the professional. So if you're looking into any of the topics that we discuss on this show, it's great to go online, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. What we really try and do for you to empower your American dream is get you the best out of your marketplace. So anything you ever hear us talk about, whether it's finance, mortgage, real estate, just overall consumer advocacy, make sure that you know that you can reach out to us for advice as well. If you need an introduction to one of the professionals you see on the show, email me. My email is right below me. I would love to help connect the dots for you to make sure that we are empowering your American dream. And that's the word. And we will start the show right now. All right, welcome back to The American Dream, this internet world and just that world of going viral. It's so interesting. We're living in this digital space and it's really tough to understand. Well, joining us on the show right now, one of the best in the business. In fact, your company is world's best agency. Clancy joins us from London, moved to the US about a year ago in those shoes, right?
In these shoes.
Hopefully you can lift them up for the audience here. I mean, these are pretty killer shoes. You've made quite the story for yourself, not only here, but originally part of your story is that you were, I think you said homeless?
Yeah, I was temporarily homeless. I've been on social welfare, living on the equivalent of $100 a week when I started my first internet business.
What year was this?
This was 2012.
Okay, so not that long ago. So
yeah.
2012, you were broke.
Yeah,
all intents and
totally
purposes.
broke,
okay,
in
so
debt.
Very broke.
Yeah.
You somehow developed this online business. I imagine being broke, you didn't have the funds or some capital raised to do it. So where did it start?
So I wanted to create a magazine online where the writers would be stars, not musicians. I came up with the domain Planet Ivy, called up every university and college in the country to get writers producing content, learned how to make that go viral, and then started to get traffic. Within 6 months, we had 300,000 visitors a month. Within a year, we had 1 million visitors a month. I gave a talk at Google campus in London. Someone who had just left Facebook said, I see a big potential here, introduced me to 2 investors, raised $250,000 and got off welfare.
Wow, so you did end up, because of these, not only ideas, but you were actually executing on them, you're showing real results. Then you got some capital and you turned this foundation you created into now a very successful business.
Yes, so after that I raised a second round. I got into Techstars, a business accelerator. I launched a growth hacking agency. I started speaking. I won Best Speaker at South by Southwest V2V. Did a 100-day world tour, worked with the royal family, and then moved to the United States.
When did you move to the US?
Just under a year ago.
Okay, so talk to us about, give our audience some information about what's really happening in this online world. You just used the term growth hacking. What do you mean by that?
So growth hacking is the reason Silicon Valley companies grow so fast without traditional ad spend. So it's not hacking, like there's no Russians, there's no hacking computers, but it's using the internet to get little advantages. So finding people's email addresses and hitting them up. growing social media aggressively and turning that into customers quickly. So there's a lot of different strategies and techniques that Silicon Valley's companies are using, and it's my job to bring that mainstream to small businesses and entrepreneurs.
So let's speak directly to them, right? Small business, entrepreneurs, salespeople, anybody who is looking to grow a brand online or have some sort of commerce online where that following can actually translate to growth in your business. What are some of the things that you could show here that would be good strategies for them to grow?
So in my new book and course, Ace the Game, we walk through some of the most powerful strategies that people just aren't aware of. So pieces of software like Rebump, where if you email someone and they don't reply, Rebump will email them every 24 hours forever. So
the same email?
You can set up different emails, so it seems organic. It seems like you're following up, and sales. The 6th, 7th, 8th touch point tends to be the one that converts. So growth hacking tends to automate all of this. There are systems you can set up on LinkedIn to automatically connect with people who are your relevant audience and then automatically send them a message when they accept your connection. So it allows you to really scale your personal social engagements. So it's as if you have an army of interns in there messaging people or emailing people or getting business for you, but it's all automated using systems and software which aren't that hard to set up, but no one really knows about them.
Is there any pushback? I mean, I would imagine some people get frustrated, call it spam. Does that ever deter future people that might be interested because you get marked as spam?
You can get so much further than you would think without getting that blowback. But there's a phrase I like: if you haven't angered 2 people before lunchtime, you haven't done your job as an entrepreneur.
So give me an example besides what you've done of somebody, because now you've started this agency, world's best agency, acethegame.com, if you want to learn more. Give us an example of an entrepreneur, a business owner that you've been able to help, and just kind of share the storyline of what they do and how they saw a result.
So there was an app from Iceland, of all places, who hired me to help them promote the app they had coming up in the creative space.
Okay, so they had an app.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I reached out to creatives who'd be interested in making money from their app. Using Twitter, I found them, I reached out to them, I got thousands of signups, and then we did an activation event at South by Southwest. And I found everyone talking about South by Southwest and introduced the idea of this event. So come here, these DJs are going to be great, there'll be food, there'll be a free bar if you get here early enough. And we were reaching out to everyone on Twitter en masse and all the big accounts like Official South by Southwest, which ended up retweeting us. And just using me and 2 others on laptops, automating and messaging people, we had 1,500 people through the door, one of the biggest events at South by Southwest. And it was a massive success, and that was the only promotion we did, and it was free just to use Twitter. So there's so much you can do without spending money. It's what Damon John calls the power of broke.
I think it's just fascinating because a lot of old school business people, they rely on relationships, right? Meeting people, coffees, happy hours, handshakes, which is great, right? This new world is very confusing. You've seemed to learn how to do it yourself, got some capital investment, now you're doing it for others. I think it's the greatest opportunity in the history of mankind to aggregate attention and build a brand. But a lot of it is hacking in these systems and automation. What is the future, you think, of this internet space, of this social media as it pertains to business?
So I think right now it's a choice whether you use these techniques, but I think in the future the competition is going to get so hard.
Is it not already there?
It's not there yet because there are people without a website who are still doing relatively well, but every month, more of it is automated. New players enter the space, new industries are disrupted. Mm-hmm. So my main advice in Ace the Game is try and get ahead of it now. Like you've been following social media for years now, but you haven't put in the time to really learn it and use it for your business.
Yep.
So the ignorance cannot continue to the business because everything is going to be disrupted.
Or as Gary Vee puts it, romanticizing about the past and how it used to be.
Yes.
Vin, thanks for coming on the show. acethegame.com if anyone wants to learn more about you. And then where can we find you online? What's your Instagram handle or Twitter or anything else?
Instagram is Vin_Clancy, YouTube and Facebook is Vin Clancy.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on the show, man. Congratulations on all your success. Welcome to the U.S. and great shoes, man.
Thank you.
More of the American Dream coming up next. leveling the playing field between Main Street and Wall Street. Brett Crosby has done this. Actually at a company that got picked up by Google. These are some pretty big accomplishments, man. So now you're the CEO of PeerStreet. Share with our audience really what your backstory is to where you got here today. I mean, getting picked up by Google is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it was super exciting. And thanks for having me on the show. Love being on the show.
Yep. Great entrepreneurial story.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I love what you guys are doing with the program. So glad to be on it. Yeah. So my background, I was co-founder of a company called Urchin Software Corporation.
Yep.
Built that business in San Diego, and we were very early in the web analytics space and helped build that industry. And in 2005, long story short, Google acquired us, and we turned that business into Google Analytics. With a number of people, both from Urchin as well as people that joined us from Google. Launched that and built it, and then I stayed on at Google for about 10 years, launching and developing new products.
Now, were you in San Diego when you were with Google?
No, I was in corporate headquarters in Mountain View. I sat right out in front of Larry and Sergey.
Give us a good story about working with Google.
I mean, it's incredible. You know, the amount of stuff I learned going to that company, the level of intelligence of all the employees there, the legendary perks of being there. But for me, the biggest perk was just being around those people. All the exciting things going on. It was really like being inside, Wonka's chocolate factory.
Except for business.
Yeah, exactly. For business.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So now you have PeerStreet. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of my college buddies actually reached out to me when I was at Google, and I was very happy having a great career at Google, and he convinced me that PeerStreet was this great idea and that I should leave Google and co-found it with him. And on a wing and a prayer.
And what year was this?
This was in 2014.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Not that long ago, yeah.
Okay.
And this was a business in a space that I knew a bit about, but there were many unknowns for me at the time. So I actually went to Michael Burry, who's the guy who is the star of that book, The Big Short, and the movie.
Yeah.
He was played by Christian Bale in the movie.
Yep.
And went to him and said, hey, look, you were able to, from Silicon Valley, you were able to see all these problems on Wall Street that led up to the global recession. And so are there any sort of things that I'm not seeing here that would be a major misgiving if I left Google in this great job to go do this? And I just wanted to get the idea in front of him. Long story short, he really liked the idea. I asked if he wanted to be an advisor, and he said, I don't want to be an advisor, I want to invest in this business. And he was that confident that it was a great idea. So shortly thereafter, I left Google and joined my co-founder to start the entrepreneurial journey all over again.
Okay, so now PeerStreet does what?
So we are a platform for investing in real estate debt. And most people know they can invest in real estate equity by buying a home or buying a property. They don't know that they can actually invest in the debt side of that. And the reason for that is that most people couldn't actually do that until quite recently, until PeerStreet made it available. If people could, it was very hard to diversify, very hard to source deals, and if they did get an investment that they liked being in, if it worked out, great, and if it didn't, you really need kind of an army of people, of lawyers and stuff to help you work it out.
Sure.
And so with PeerStreet, we said, hey, we can solve all of those problems. We'll create a platform, source the deals, vet the deals, allow people to diversify in a way never before possible, minimum of $1,000 investment. And if something goes wrong, we handle the situation.
Help the untrained ear understand what it means to invest in debt.
Yeah, so...
Don't we not want debt, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not, it's funny because you're not taking out the loan in this situation. You're able to invest, kind of be the bank in this situation and invest in a loan that's already been originated.
Okay.
And these types of loans we're talking about, these are short-term, generally fairly high yield, and fairly conservative loan to value. So what that means is generally about a year in term, and average yield is about 7.5% to 8%, but it can range between 6 to 10%. And you can handpick your deals. You can diversify $1,000 minimum, so you can, create your own basket of loans. Mm-hmm. And then our max loan to value is 75%. And so even in your own home mortgage, typically a bank will lend you up to 80%.
Or even more. Loan. I mean, FHA, you can go up to 97%,
right.
100%. So just
and
to make sure it makes sense for our audience, so when you're
yeah.
saying a 75% loan to value, what I'm interpreting that as a low risk investment. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, these are fairly, conservative investments. The market certainly goes higher than that. We take a more conservative swath of the market so that if something does go wrong, the odds of principal loss are muted by the fact that you've got this equity cushion that the original borrower put their capital in, right?
And you guys are doing a lot in the real estate world, because you mentioned like some short-term loans as well.
It's all real estate.
Purely real estate.
All of our loans are 100% first position liens on real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got a unique position in that market since we talk so much about real estate. I mean, the American Dream's in 20 cities with the best realtors all across the country. It's a big part of our message.
Yeah.
You being uniquely positioned, what do you think of the real estate market?
It's really interesting that we've had a great bull run in the real estate market, which has been wonderful to be a part of. We always have to be prepared for a downturn.
Of course, after what happened in 2008.
Given that, and then also the nature of our business, where people are investing their money, we want to make sure that if something were to happen, they're in the best position possible. I think relative to other investments, even in the downturn, real estate debt, for the most part, fared favorably, and especially if you were able to ride through a little bit of the cycle. And we talk about the one side of our platform, which is where individuals can invest in real estate debt in a way never before possible.
Sure.
We have thousands of people that are doing that today, as well as large institutions, and that's where we talk about leveling the playing field between individuals as well, from Main Street to Wall Street. So individuals and institutions both invest on the platform. But on the other side of the platform, we've got all these private lenders who are making these loans. And what that does, the benefit of this platform is that individuals like us can now find something to invest in that is relatively stable income. If there's something goes wrong, you're in the first position to get paid back,
First lien versus second lien.
Exactly. Or
Right.
if it's like consumer credit loans you're investing in, there's nothing backing
It's
that.
not attached to anything.
Exactly.
There's no lien.
So we feel good about the asset. And then on the other side, you have lenders who are private lenders. They're non-bank lenders, so they don't have depositor capital. They're always capital constrained because it requires a lot of capital to make these types of loans. And so what we're doing is actually making it so more borrowers get access to more capital via the private lenders that we work with.
Are you confident in the housing market?
I am confident in the housing market at the moment. The fundamentals look good. There's still a shortage of houses in most major markets, and people need a place to live. You have more millennials entering the market today, looking to buy, and the economy's been robust. But that said, it is a cyclical industry, and so you can see downside to it. But and look, if you've got a great crystal ball, I'd love to see it. But and the reality is that I think the best crystal ball is looking at the data, looking at the fundamentals, what's happening in those local markets, and having boots on the ground of people who know those local markets. And that's because we are not a direct lender. We work with all of these hundreds of private lenders throughout the country. They have their local boots on the ground. They know the local markets, and then we double check their work.
Brett Crosby helping Main Street compete with Wall Street. Thanks for coming on the show, giving us an opinion about the real estate market. Really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, Craig. Thanks for having me. And we just hit $1 billion funded through our platform recently. And so as an internal thing, we put together this pretty cool shirt, which I'm not sure how much people can see on TV, but wanted to bring one of these for you. It says PeerStreet. It's black on black to kind of celebrate
black on black, man.
The milestone. So enjoy that, and hopefully we'll see it on
awesome,
wearing
man.
it in a future episode with your suit.
Check this thing out, and hopefully the real estate market is bullish for us and everybody watching here, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you dropping in.
Thank you, sir.
All right, more of the American Dream coming up next. Well, of course, on a show called The American Dream, you got to talk about homeownership and the real estate market. Nobody better to have on our program than one of our favorite guests, George Lorimer, top producing realtor here in San Diego. Good to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
Always
Craig.
good to have you on.
Excellent.
So start us off, the market, right? How's the market?
Market. Okay, so we're still in a seller's market.
Low inventory.
Low inventory, that's
Yep.
right. So for 72 straight months, we've had the median price go up year after year.
What is
So
that?
it's 6 years.
6 years? Yep.
6 years straight. So a boom market since 2012, June
Okay.
of 2012, all the way through June of 2018. So we've seen some appreciation. And
Yep.
So last year, the houses were up about 5.8%, Craig. And
It's a good year.
Yeah, and condos up, about 7.8. So almost
Okay.
6 and 8% about.
So 6 years bullish.
Yes.
You have to ask the question because what goes up must come down.
Right.
Right? Are we topping off? What do you think? I mean, it seems like a lot of the fundamentals are there.
I think so. I think what's driving it is we're not building enough homes to satisfy the demand from buyers.
Okay.
And those that we are quite above, maybe a third higher than the average or the median price. Because everything new, whether it's a condo downtown or a nice home in North County, is over $1 million.
So give me some advice for buyers specifically, and then we'll ask about sellers.
Yeah, so, this is the questions I get, Craig. Everybody's a little bit scared because the interest rates have gone up. We were in the mid-3s for a long time.
Where are they now?
Mid-4s.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've got a friend who's on the Federal Reserve Board, and he says for sure he thinks it'll be over 5 by the end of the year.
Really?
And so we're seeing it go up. You know mortgages well. You know how it goes up. So
I see a little pressure on buying. Yep.
Right. So I see the interest rates going up. So that's one thing for buyers that'll affect their affordability. And year over year on a house, we're talking about $40,000 more this year for the exact same house as last year, and 1% increase in interest rates. So affordability-wise, the buyers, the longer you wait, the more you're going to have to pay for it. Or if you want the same payment, the smaller house you're going to have to get.
Yeah, it's like when you're selling something, you look at what you're going to get for it.
Right.
When you're buying something, it's what's it going to cost me.
Yes.
Right? And that interest rate is such a key ingredient.
It is.
And if you're hearing from the Federal Reserve that rates are going to continue to go up, it's like locking in that rate now is going to save you a ton on interest.
Yep.
It's a really, really important part of the equation when it comes to buying. What about sellers?
Okay, so for sellers, this is what, everybody says to me, oh, if I wait, will it go up more? It could not. This is what I would think. I got this example recently. I said, if you're selling a $500,000 place and you think it might go up another 5% next year, $25,000. Yeah.
Sure.
So it'd be like going to Vegas and risking $500,000 to gain $25,000.
Yep.
Is that really a good risk if that is your timing and you feel that it's the right time for you to make the move?
Well, and a lot of it depends on your goals because keep in mind that seller is probably buying a new home.
Exactly.
Right, and maybe moving into a bigger, better home. And then you got to bring back in that interest rate equation as well.
Exactly.
Like what kind of pressure is that going to put on you on your next purchase?
It's, and you probably know these numbers too, but every time that the prices go up and the interest rates go up, they're usually offset. So if the interest rates continue going up, they usually say about a 1% change in interest rate is equal to about a 10% change in price for your monthly payments. So you never really win as a home buyer or home seller. If now's the right time, if prices did go down, the rates are going up. So if they go up 1%, your payment will be the same at a 10% drop in price.
I think the key ingredient is just making sure that you get a real good understanding of what your short and long-term goals are.
Yeah.
Sit down with a professional, a guy like George, and just really map this thing out. But also on the finance side, you have a great finance team that supports you as well.
Absolutely.
Just a smart thing to do. Give us an example of a San Diego listing. You got so many of them. Give us a couple good ones.
So here's a great one. Here's a starter one, Mission Valley, so very close to where we're filming right now, right on the San Diego River. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $366,000.
First-time home buyer.
First-time home buyer, and you can get in the veterans 0 down, qualifies for VA.
So it's a condo.
Yes, correct.
But it does have VA eligibility.
Yep,
Not
that's
all
correct.
those condos do.
Right, yeah. So we find that a big part of our market here in San Diego because we have so much of our military. So that's one property. And then I do have another one up in North County, Carlsbad, at $728,000.
Okay.
And just, again, great price on a home, single story.
Now, on the property up there, you're probably looking at maybe a move-up buyer. That's a pretty healthy purchase for a first-time home buyer. But maybe, I don't know if they're doing well at San Diego.
Move up or move down, or empty nesters, because it's a single story, 3-bedroom, around 1,650 square feet. So we've noticed that for people, townhome to a house, but we've also noticed the people that own a house that maybe want to downsize and go to a single level, because we're seeing that as a big part of the market.
Well, the fact that you can buy a nice home in the 300s in San Diego, what we always have to remember is that you got to live somewhere. You're going to be paying either rent in your landlord's mortgage, or pay your own mortgage, build principal, pay down principal, build equity, get those tax advantages. And you referenced something that's just a no-brainer. If you've served in our military, you can buy a house, no money down.
Right, and Craig, think of it this way. So the buyers, they always have sticker shock, right? The payment's always more when you throw in an HOA, property taxes. Thing is, that doesn't go up. That stays flat versus your rent goes up every 6 months, every year. And then you're paying down your mortgage and it's going up. Over the years, it's gone up over 5% year over year.
Yes, sir. George Lorimer, dropping knowledge on the real estate market, advice for buyers, sellers, great listings. GeorgeLorimer.com, best place for anyone to check you out.
Yep.
Visit him. I've known George. How long have I known you for?
Maybe
Too long, man.
Yeah.
But always been one of the best in the business. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Craig.
All right, more of the American Dream coming up next.
Introducing S1 Connect by Synergy One Lending, a company committed to making your home buying experience easy and convenient. S1 Connect is the best way to simplifying your home buying experience so that you can get your dream home faster. Whether you're a baby boomer, a millennial, or a luxury home buyer, S1 Connect offers you the opportunity to receive real-time notifications about your home loan so that you're informed every step of the way. Apply for a loan from anywhere. Compare various loan scenarios to help determine which product best fits your needs. Track your home loan progress with real-time notifications. Safely and securely upload loan documents from your mobile device. And have instant access to your loan officer and real estate agent. Basically, we're all about speed, ease, and expertise at Synergy One, so download the S1 Connect app today. To learn more about S1 Connect, visit us at s1lending.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to find out everything we have going on at Synergy One Lending.
We have a winner! Johnny, you won! You won!
Grandma?
There are certain times in life when you need a neutral third party to call the shots.
I wasn't right. I wasn't right. I wasn't. You hear me?
Keep it fair. Choose Oakwood Escrow.
Nothing speaks to the American dream more than dreaming big, like luxury real estate. We got joining us on the show, Joyce Ray, who's a luxury real estate expert out of Beverly Hills. Joyce, always good to have you on the show.
Thanks so much. Great to be here.
So we're going to talk about the market, but let's start off a little fun here. What cool listings you have right now? Please share with our audience some of the cool stuff you have going on.
I have one house that's very exciting. It's over 35,000 square feet, and it's located in Bel Air by the East Gate. It's about less than 10 minutes, I think, from Rodeo Drive. And it has a bowling alley, a screening room, an indoor swimming pool. Prince once rented the house, so it has a celebrity history.
Wow.
It's been totally renovated by a very talented designer by the name of Gavin Broden from out of London.
You know you got a nice house when you're renting it to Prince. And I know you've represented a lot of celebrities up there in Beverly Hills, and you also have an international presence in real estate. Let's talk about the luxury real estate market. This is a show that predicates itself on giving information on home ownership, and luxury real estate is certainly a part of that. So what's going on in that higher niche?
I was just doing a little analysis for a client this week, and we looked at the $30 million and up market. And there have been 11 closed sales in that price range since January of this year. And I'm proud to say 2 of those sales were mine. So, and also we had 2 record sales in Malibu, both at and above the $100 million mark.
With those types of properties, Joyce, what moves them? I know that the marketing strategies are a lot different. You're looking for international buyers in many cases. What are some of the strategies that help those properties move?
Well, you definitely look for international buyers. You have to, because when you get into those high price ranges, you're looking for basically billionaires. And that's a finite population worldwide. I think they're just under 3,000 billionaires. So, you know, that's your target audience for these properties. And the truth is that Los Angeles is one of the most desirable places in the world right now for that population. Their money is safe, the weather is great, the business opportunities are here. Hollywood is a very attractive investment to a lot of these individuals. So we have a wide demand from around the world, fortunately.
So when these transactions happen, for example, your recent 2 sales, you said you were 2 of those 11. who's buying? Are these cash deals? How did you get that market out to the masses, to those international buyers? Give us a good story. People love to hear these.
One of the sales did involve a European buyer. And yes, I have the estates division for Coldwell Banker here in Beverly Hills, and we have nearly 90,000 agents worldwide. So the moment we take a listing, it goes everywhere. It goes on over 1,000 websites. So the world is so small today with the internet, and we maximize our coverage, social media. You can leave no stone unturned. You do outstanding photography on these listings. You write a story about these listings. You make a video about these listings. We're very extensive in our marketing.
Now, you've been in this business for a while, Joyce. Hasn't it been fascinating for you? I know you don't treat it like a job. It's something you're incredibly passionate about. Where have you seen some of the shifts? I mean, you just mentioned things like social media. When you first got into the business, there was no social media marketing for luxury real estate. Maybe you did open houses. Explain how you've seen things kind of evolve. There
was absolutely no social media. I mean, my goodness, when I started in the business, I really sound like a dinosaur, but we barely photographed our listings. We ran a 2-line classified ad in the Los Angeles Times, and that was it. There was absolutely no marketing being done when I began my career 44 years ago.
Pretty crazy how the game has changed. Do you like where it is now? It seems like you're keeping up because a lot of the millennials are in that social media world. I'm going to suggest that you're not a millennial. Do you enjoy how things have moved? Do you have a lot of fun with it?
I have a lot of fun with it. I've embraced it. I've enjoyed it. I love my Instagram account. And I go places and people come up to me and they say, I follow you, and it gets me excited.
I think it's cool. It's just a great feel-good story that you do. There's, especially in real estate, there's a lot of professionals that have been in the business for many years that kind of romanticize about the past and how it was done. But you just made a great point that the world is shrinking because of the internet and the connectivity. I think it's the greatest opportunity in the history of mankind to aggregate attention. And when you're talking about being a marketer such as yourself, not only for your brand, but your listings and your clients, really is a crazy but opportunistic world. And it's good to see all the success that you continue to have with it. Thanks so much for sharing your stories, your listings, and coming on The American Dream. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig. It was great to be here.
All right, we'll have you on again soon. Thank you. All right, more of The American Dream coming up next. All right, let's go out to America's finest city with one of the elite realtors in town, good friend of ours, Seth O'Byrne. Let's see what he's up to.
Life gets so busy sometimes that we often forget to stop and smell the roses. It's no different with top producing realtor Seth O'Byrne. So today he's brought me to a wonderful estate here in Rancho Santa Fe where we're really gonna enjoy every single detail and smell every rose on this property. I can't wait to show you guys what's inside. Seth, how are you?
Hello, hello.
This is absolutely beautiful.
It's amazing, right?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Nice to see you. It's to die for. All these roses are amazing. Something that dreams are made of.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the property itself is actually named for the roses. So, it's such a tribute to not just the architecture of the property, but the fact that it lives on this beautiful, beautiful grounds.
It's almost like your private little garden right here.
It is, and that's kind of the sense, right? So this is like a garden estate or a garden house, which is very traditional and European, very cool, kind of French, kind of English. But those front gates right there, if you walk out of those front gates, you can be in downtown Rancho Santa Fe in 3 blocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
It feels so much more private here. Like I really don't feel like I have any neighbors that I'm even close to a downtown area.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. And inside you get that same feeling as well. The reason that either wall of almost every single room in the property can have floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall windows without window coverings is because you have so much privacy.
Amazing. I love these exposed beams in this house.
Yeah, aren't they great?
Yes.
And it's cool because, You know, though this was part of the original architecture, why I like it so much is this home kind of has, even though it's in the ranch, it has a beachy feel. And I feel like the open wood beam ceilings make it very accessible and still feel kind of coastal.
Absolutely. Well, and it's so open in here. I mean, you're looking at the kitchen on this side in the living room, and you can see directly across.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have this kind of mirrored procession of arches. So you see rooms kind of repeat themselves. There's a symmetry to the architecture. It's hard to put your finger on when you first walk in, but it's really the reason it feels so good.
Yes. Okay, I want to see more of this kitchen area over here. So, I mean, this huge dining room is definitely made for entertaining.
Yep.
So you can have your full family over on Thanksgiving. I love it.
You could, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, there's room to even grow, so which is great.
I love it. Okay, so this kitchen area, the dual islands.
Yes, the dual islands I think are probably one of the defining things of a great kitchen is a dual island. And it's not just for the social aspect, it's just practicality. I mean, look at how much storage you have with these.
Yes. Oh my gosh, and I cannot miss these little details of these knobs.
Yes.
It's like nothing has been missed in this kitchen.
I think the homeowners, when they did the design, what they pinpointed, which I think is really smart, is European design is European design. So there's things that are French, there's things that are English, and there's things that are Spanish about the property. You know, the architecture is hacienda, which is both Italian and Spanish, and some of the features are kind of English, and things like this are like, you couldn't be more French.
No.
But they work all together.
Yes, and even though it's very dainty and light, it's very homey as well.
Exactly. I mean, not every macho man is gonna love the crystals.
I like them.
I like them too, honestly.
So I could spend all day in this kitchen and live in it, but I want to see the rest of the house.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very easy because it's all open.
Yeah, it's very nice. I'm loving it. So I talked about the dining room, how much I loved it. And then this living room area that really is warm and inviting.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, one of the great things about a property that's built in the hacienda style, and the original haciendas, which were actually an adaptation of the Italian villas, is you want to have light come in, but you need privacy for that, right? So this C architecture, where you have an arm that comes off this way and an arm that comes off this way, allows you to have complete privacy in the pavilion, which means that there's no window coverings. So it's light, it's bright, it's warm. When the sun comes up, you see it. When the stars are out at night, you can see it from every room. It's a really magical way to build a house.
And I love that when you're in this, I mean, truly the living area of the home, you're also looking at this beautiful courtyard area with this waterfall, and every single feature just seems so to pop for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's well manicured. I mean, there's definitely a difference between most homeowners and these homeowners. These homeowners spend a lot of time to keep all the details perfect.
Yes.
Which really, you know, with a property this beautiful, a lot of it has to do with the details being handled.
Absolutely. And I think we can't forget to mention the little details. I know you were showing me the hardware on everything is so thought out.
Yes.
That it gives you that warm feel in such a large home.
Yeah, absolutely. And it gives it, you know, it's meant to have a traditional, established, old world charm, but it's all the newest materials, right? So the heat transfer, the sound abatement, they're amazing, but you still get that kind of charming French look from all the hardware, which is really, really cool. And it can't be missed. The lighting in the property is beautiful. You know, this whole library just glows.
Seth, I know it's kind of weird to stop you as we're going into the rest of the house, but I just want to take a second to turn around and really enjoy this space that we're in right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think this is the beauty of what simplicity replicated creates, right? Each room is simple on its own. It's a lot of light colors, but 4 rooms in this procession with all this symmetry, you can see all these spaces all at once and not be overwhelmed.
Yes.
They just work together.
They're absolutely amazing. And I know that the master in this home is stunning in that closet.
Yep, it's amazing.
To die for. It's like every single room that I walk into, I find something to fall in love with.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, Seth, I love this home, so thank you so much for having me here today.
You.
Thank you for introducing me to my new love of simplicity in homes.
Thank you.
Seth O'Byrne always seems to blow my mind with these amazing properties that he has for sale. Today probably goes at the top of my list for homes that I've fallen in love with. So thank you so much, Seth of Pacific Sotheby's, for inviting us out here today and adding a rose garden to my bucket list.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode of The American Dream. You got a lot of inspiration and advice today. Look, if you have any questions when it comes to your real estate, your finance, your mortgage, make sure you reach out to us. You can email me directly, and I will make sure that we answer any questions that you have. And last but not least, we'd love it if you can breathe some oxygen into this positive message. How do you do that? Follow us on social media. We'd love to see you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. You know where you can find us. That's all for today. Cheers to your American dream, and we'll see you next time.